Hi, this part about the strategy, we will see here the vision, mission, value. You can, or the system owner might need to add it, so it's very easy to connect. What's happening approval-wise for in the organization to KP.cloud by uploading the approved data. So as you can see here, you can just double click on the vision, mission, value to go and add your own vision. Related to the objective, we have to connect, every objective to the right perspective and also to the parent team objective. So by clicking here, I can change, the current objective parent name, or I can put the new objective name. Also the description. I can change the description of the currently added objective by just literally clicking. We have to be careful here for not to delete objective because it might delete all the related KPI and objective with it. So if we need to add a new objective at the bottom, we just click this one a blue button at the bottom, add objective, and we will have the opportunity to say what parent objective is included. We will change this one as needed and then add the description here and save to be able to add the brand new objective. The perspective order could also be changed by the system owner in the background, and they could be really anything. The perspective, the most common one is the balance scorecard one, finance, customer, internal process, and people. But also we are using this one for OKR and other methodologies, which the perspective could be customized as per the need and business requirement. So this is basically the strategy. So there is four columns. If I need to go to the CEO, it's going to be a small difference between the strategies that you see from the top node. In this case, I'm looking at the CEO, March quarter one and 2022. Okay, so I can zoom in and out as needed by clicking on control and scroll in the mouse. I can just, make things bigger, and this is applies everywhere in the system. So as you can see here, when I click on the strategy, I do not have a parent objective because the CEO is the top person. Same perspective and mission, vision, value in this case. So this is basically the strategy. The team is and the structure is added by the KPI system, the KPI owner, system owner. And we start with the CEO. We finish the vision, mission, value. We add the KPIs. We add the scorecard. Everything related to the top corporation. And then we begin to create level 2. And here we're talking by the owner. He clicks on this plus, and he can just like keep adding layer 2 after layer 1 is finished, and layer 3 after level 2 is finished, because we need to by default inherit the information from the top node. So here you go. Now at the bottom here we have people. So this structure not only include the organization structure, but also you can add, if you wish, people as well to the structure. When you hover over this number, for example, for the CEO, 90% is coming from 23 KPIs, 4 red, 3 amber, 9 green, 7 undefined, and 0 late. Also on the right side, you will find that also we are tracking the project. So here we have 32 project milestones, 3 red, 6 amber, 1 green, and 22 late. So this is why you have the black here. When you have the blue sign, location sign, this is what we are looking at right now, and you can verify here with the CEO. The trend is this this arrow. If it's going upward or downward, it will tell you comparing to previous performance. So this is the structure. Related to the summary, which we prefer to look at on a periodical basis instead of using PowerPoint all the time. You can have a check-in or quarterly performance report using this executive summary screen, where you summarize the uh, scores for all the perspectives, 82, 112, exceeding here 94 and 67, or sorry, 76 for the people, which is behind. This is the KPI as per the perspectives. If you go down, you can look at the same exact data, but by objective. We have 8 objectives with the score next to them. 50 versus 120 and other 75. And also the KPIs for the per the objectives. So we have 8 objectives and we have all the KPIs. We have couple KPIs. They are due to report, but they're not reported, so they are in black. Also, we do recommend to add all managers to add the qualitative analysis by adding key achievements for the period, be it a monthly or a quarterly, depending on what kind of period of reporting you're utilizing. Key achievement, key challenges and risks, outstanding items, and required decision and support from top management. By clicking on this bottom blue, you can add any information related to this 4 items that I mentioned. You can change the size as you wish. Okay, so this is the qualitative analysis summary. This is the wheel. So we can rotate the wheel by clicking and then dragging. As you can see here, we have the 4 perspective, the 8 objectives, and also all the KPIs related to all the objectives. We have couple late one, they did not add to the system, which is black, which is really causing the score to be low. So if you are late in this case, it will impact negatively the score of the objective, the KPI, and also the perspective. You can drill down by objectives if needed or by perspectives, or you can click on a certain KPI to go straight to see the detail of the KPI. Also, dashboard is very commonly used for the top management to meet over the internet by looking at the results. No need for PowerPoint presentations. It's very easily the information for everyone for every KPI is the following. You have, the name of the KPI, which could be clicked to go and see more details, the name of the objectives, and also the detail of the KPI, i.e. unit weight, polarity decreases better or increases better, and also the owner of the KPI. We have, for example, here we have 7 KPI under finance, customers, processes. As you can see here also, some KPIs are monthly and some of them are semi-annual. We have annual and we have a quarterly, in this case, timely closure of audit observation. So this is the most probably commonly used screen for management to go over. Also, we have the scorecard. Same exact information but displayed differently with more visibility on the owner of the KPIs. For example, we're looking at now the perspective of finance. We have 2 objectives, and then for every objective we have 4 KPI for the first time and 3 for the second objective, with the scoring is showing up everywhere with the main information of the KPI, i.e. the direction, weight, unit, and target and actual. So if it's increases better, it's going to be actual over target. If it decreases better, it's going to be target over actual to get 95%, 94%. As you can see here, we have multiple perspectives. And at the bottom here, we have the legend. So what the color mean? Black is missing. Not due to report is the gray. So in this case, it might be yearly KPI, and we are not there yet. You have the target is blue, 80%, and less is red. 80 to 99 are the one that yellow, progressing. 100% and more is the one we finished successfully. Okay, so this is the scorecard. Also, we're looking at the same period here. You can always change that, but we are looking at March 2022. The detail is now when we go into the KPI itself, And then we have all these KPIs. Some of them are, most of them are approved in this case. They are shown by alphabetically, by perspectives, and also by objective. So let's assume, we have this one KPI. On a monthly basis, the target is the line, and depending on the results, the color will be adjusted. In this case, we have most green except the last one is yellow. And when you look at the back of this screen, you will see also the historical yearly results. So in addition to that, we have the objective, KPI name, direction, weight, frequency, and cumulative. Cumulative, we prefer to use this one. Then all past quarters are included in this current quarter to reflect year to date in this case. So the unit also is there, and then the data source. And if you flip on this bottom arrow, we can go back to see the description and the formula. At the bottom, you have the table, so the months, the targets, the actual, and the variance between the two. Also, a little bit of information about the KPI here. On the right side, we have the history of notes. So if I want to add, please provide more information, and I just click on adding a note, you can make this visible to everybody. It will attach the time, who did it, and they can reply to you. For example, the KPI owner can reply to you. Also, as a manager, I can just like assign tasks for a certain person to go and do things. It will be assigned to a certain person. The status could change as you go. In progress, completed, the task detail, and then if you need a reminder on a specific day, due date, and then a high priority or not. So assuming that you add this task, it will show up in somebody else's to-do list. In the back, also you can attach files. You can attach pictures, links. If you flip on this row, you will see, who did what on this KPI. So we're looking at the KPI level, tracked activity by activity, who did it, and at what time. This is very important for the governance. So this is including the first portion, which is visibility and tracking and performance management meetings and so forth. In addition to seeing the performance of the KPI for a specific team, in this case the CEO team, the user could go and analyze even deeper all the relationships and also the detailed information about the specific KPI. The first one item he can utilize is the nodes. So in this case, when I click on the KPIs and I click on users as well, because I need to see the users inside the CEO office or CEO team. When I click refresh, this is what I get. First, by perspectives, so we have the CEO here. We have the perspective, finance, and then you have the objective and all the KPI related to these objectives. When I hover over, the KPI, I get the percentage or the results for the specific time that I chose. In this case, it's in April 2022. In relation to the users, if I want to check to see how many users I have inside the CO team. So in this case, I have users. I have 4 users, Hi, Joe, and Bob. And also I have the other 2 managers there. In addition to Sari, this is the 3 managers. We can always do things specifically in the nodes. You have to hover over the node so you can get detailed how you interact with this screen. So when you double click, things will be easy to move around. When you double click, things can go back to normal. It will adjust itself. So all these tips could be found when you hover over the nodes. Of course, you can add more detailed information by using this query. You can, add the owners, the feedback, the competency, sub-team if you want to see the whole organization, and other items. Related to the graphs, also for a specific team, you can see all the uh, KPIs within the team, as you see here. Uh, the first impression will be, the first, you can play with it. So the first one image will be for January, and then every single month we will have another row, and you can always hover over each one to understand what the value for this specific KPI was within the team, within the time. In this case, it's March 2022. The focus is, however, here it's showing all 2022 in stacks. Every 1 month is one line. So this is another way of seeing results. You can always play and analyze it as well. The third one is the trend. So if you're interested to understand what are the relationship between the KPIs from one side to an objective, or KPI to KPIs, you can always choose one in the horizontal axis and then the other one in the vertical axis, and you can click on trend. In this case, you're comparing total number of a new customer to revenues from international markets. So by looking at them, you can have a sense of how things are moving. Are they're moving together, or they're moving opposite from each other? Also, we have a nice feature here. It's called compare. This is for all the objective that are spelled exactly the same, or the perspective spelled exactly the same. They should be actually perspective wise. KPIs also, if you spell them exactly the same, they will be comparison between them, between all the teams on top. As you can see here, this is all the team that I have. And if you go back to the right side and expand this one to objectives, so now you can compare objective to see if they are doing well in customers versus other objective. When you even click further, it's going to take you to the KPIs. And as you can see here, not all KPIs are shared between all teams. So it will only show you the KPIs that we have results for, and also the color and the score. If you have a gray mean you did not, and it's not due to report yet. And this is why it's showing up as gray. So you can compare. If it's black, it's due to report but not reported. And as you can see here, this is a beautiful way to compare internal performance between all the teams for the same KPI or an objective or perspective. The last one, which is very important for the top leadership, in this case, I am the CEO and I have all my objectives here. I will just click on the first one because I need to analyze my objective and who's helping me out. I understand that, I have a few KPIs myself as a CEO, but also I need to understand how the sub teams are doing. So, for example, operation is really helping me out here in a specific one. Uh, KPI. However, I have three KPIs are red and they're not doing well. If I go even farther to sales, uh, I have only one KPI which is doing okay, 86%. So totally I understand where the problem is vertically when online. Wherever you see the picture, you can always click on the picture and you will have the acknowledgement panel for any person. So in this case, I'm not happy, let's say, with a specific person. I will just say I'm his direct report. Sorry, I am his manager, and I'm spending the time with him daily. You can always change these criteria, and you can add, for example, one for overall performance, and you say, okay, well, I'm pretty much happy with this performance, presentation skill, negotiation, or anything else. Could be, it will be set by the system owner in the background, or it could be also be replaced by overall performance. I can add a comment and I can either show my name or not. Especially if it's a negative and I'm his manager, I prefer not to show my name, and will save. And this is why this person could get my my record as an acknowledgement for this specific person. Okay, so now acknowledgement saved, and now you have all the details of your own review will show up on his own on the employee screen. So this is in a nutshell how you can analyze, and also we showed you how to acknowledge a person by clicking on his picture and add a good feedback or negative feedback. Now let's go to maintain, create a KPI. So by going to the menu, you have to check and click on maintain. Of course, it will always be nice to look at the message that you're gonna get when you hover over the button for maintain. So in this case, I'm just gonna change one actual because I discovered this is the wrong actual. So I'm just gonna edit the KPI, and I'm gonna go here to, let's say, 100, and say it's gonna be a 99, and I'm gonna save. Before I do this one, let me just walk you through how you change or create a new KPI. If it's already created, you have to select it by alphabetical order from this list. In addition to that, you have, all the objectives, listed objective. We have 8 objectives. So it's going to be linked to one objective. The KPI name by default, the owner, and you can always assign an owner within your own team to the KPI. This is the unit, could be percentage, could be kilometer, could be dollar. In addition to this, you have the direction. Direction uh, could be increase is better or decrease is better. Decrease is better is when polarity is negative, like accidents, complaints. Uh, Polarity positive is the opposite when you have, for example, revenues, customers. The more is better in this case. Frequency here, we have 4 different type of frequency. So let me cancel and try to create a new KPI just to show you. So this is increase is better or decrease is better. This is when you decide on the objective if you want to create a KPI, a new KPI. This is like I mentioned, the owner. The weight, you have 1, 2, 3. 1 is important. 2x is very important. 3x is super important. So the reason why we have it this way and not adding percentage like usual, to cut down on revising all weights when you introduce a new KPI, for example, or you delete the KPI, you have to go back and meet with all owners to agree on a specific percentage, which is very time consuming. This is patent. This is the only system where you can find this one is very simplified, and it is meant to make things easier for users. You have to set it only once, and that's it. Whatever you add or delete KPIs is not gonna need any maintenance. Okay, so this is the frequency. Like I mentioned, we have 4 different options: monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and yearly. When you click on a quarterly, you will have 4 boxes. When you have annual, only 1 box, and when you have monthly, you have 12 boxes. You put the description here, the formula, and the data source where the data is coming on a periodical basis, and then you begin to put all the targets as you go, and then later on you begin to say, okay, this is my actual, and you save. When you save this KPI, uh, it's not gonna go live immediately. It has to go to your manager for him or her to approve this KPI, for this KPI to make it live, to be calculated, and to be integrated with the calculation score-wise and other reasons. So I'm not gonna save the new KPI now. I'm just gonna cancel. And then we go back to all these KPIs sitting inside the team of the CEO to change as needed, and also to report on the actual on continuous basis. If you are a manager leading one team, you will have access to something called Manage. And under this Manage, currently we have a review and a rating. When I click on rating here, I will see all my employees with their names and emails, if they are manager or not within my team. If I have a project for them, the score of the project, the KPI score, competency score, if you do a appraisal for them, and then the weighted average for this person. In addition to this, you have the employee rating from 1 to 5 in case you want to send it to HR because they have 1 to 5 scale. And also the feedback. This is coming from the 360 degrees feedback of the employees. The nice thing about this one, you can always have a broad picture of all your team member and how they are doing project-wise, KPIs, competency, and the rating overall with the feedback coming from their own colleagues and managers. So this is one way of managing your own team. The other one is the review. So on a monthly basis, you might need to check your own staff. And in this case, I have two waiting for my review, one for Emma and the other one for Alex, two KPIs, one and one. And these are the two KPIs that I need to review. So if I agree with this this KPI, I will just click on approve and then it will go live. Or if you don't agree with this percentage, in this case it is close to 90%, then 9 out of 10, then you can go to manage, sorry, the tool and maintenance, maintain, and change it as needed.